Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes More or Less Ship Review, right behind me, the AEGIS GLADIUS. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, welcome back to another review. It's been a little while since I've had another video come out, and it's just because of the holiday season, as well as, a lot of work to be done with my full-time job, and then taking care of the kid, and family time, all this kind of stuff. So hopefully everybody had a great holidays, a great end of the year, and now we focus on the new year ahead with 2025 and Cloud Imperium Games. With all these new things they wanted to achieve to get to 1.0, we will see how the next 6 to 9 months go, and that'll show us a really big picture. Now, taking a look here at the AEGIS GLADIUS, this ship here, I have not reviewed this ship since 3.23, so it's been a little bit of time, not too long. Obviously, these patches aren't too far apart, but I would like to give you an update on this ship, including, of course, the paint showcase that I'm doing now, so that alone is worth the video. But then we're talking about the stats. Has anything changed with this ship? Well, starting off, this ship is $90 if you were to buy it on the Pledge Store, or if you buy it in-game, it is $2,381,000 aUEC. Now, definitely not a terrible in-game price. The outside of the game price, that's just depending on you and your budget and how much you want to support the project. Now, looking at this ship's damage per second, you do have 891 damage per second at your full power capacity. So that's due to these two size 3 CF337 Panthers and one size 3 Mantis GT220. Now, obviously, a lot of people like to swap these weapons around, so that's just kind of here and there. If you like it stock, fantastic. It'll do pretty good for you. Definitely not a bad little fighter, especially with the speed and maneuverability that we'll talk about here in just a second. Now, you also have two size 3 Arrestor 3 missiles, and then also 4 size 2 Ignite 2 missiles. So, a pretty good missile payload. They're not rockets, they're not dumbfire or anything, so, but it is a pretty good missile payload, and I'd say for a light fighter of this tier, and under that $100 price point, or $2,381,000 aUEC price point, it's definitely not terrible at all. Now, looking at its defensive capability, this is where some of the stats change, just very minor, but this ship does have two size 1 shield generators, giving out 3,460 bubble shield, which is not the worst. It used to be 3,000 shield, so you went up a little bit. I don't mind that at all. A little bit more shield, the better. Now, you also have 7,294 ship HP, which, again, it went up just a little bit, like a hair. It used to be 7,160, so getting even a little bit is always nice. So, appreciate that. I think this ship is kind of right where they want it. Now, they just have to find a way not to power creep it with all these new ships coming out, like the Hornets and all these other light fighters I'm sure they have coming down the pipeline. You got to make sure you don't take the Gladius and put it in a box and store it away and let it collect dust, right? This ship does have to be viable, and currently, you got to ask yourself, is it? There's a lot of good ships out there, and this ship is still one of the best when it comes to maneuverability. Let's go ahead and get into that. This ship has a top SCM speed of 225 with a 520 forward boost and a 268 backwards boost with a top nav speed of 1,230. So again, a little bit of an upgrade there. The nav speed prior was 1,200, so you got a 30, SCM boost. Definitely not terrible. I'll take it. Given the role of this ship being a light fighter going out there and intercepting targets, more speed the better. Obviously, you don't want it to be overpowered, but this is a good spot for it. It feels really maneuverable with its 70 52, 200 pitch, yaw, roll. So definitely very maneuverable. I'd say it's probably one of the most maneuverable light fighters in the game, if not the most maneuverable light fighter in the game, outside of like the Arrow. And there's probably a couple competitors there, but it is very maneuverable, especially with what you get. I do appreciate that. Now, this ship does come with 13.5 SCU of hydrogen fuel, which right now, not too big of a deal. You just go and refuel whenever you're at a station or whatnot. Hydrogen fuel, not the biggest aim, but then you also have 1.3 SCU of quantum fuel, allowing you to actually jump around a bit. It's pretty nice. You only used to have a 0.5 SCU of quantum fuel, so the fact that your quantum fuel went up allows you to use this in a little bit more areas than not. Like now you can go to Pyro and maybe fly around a little bit before you have to refuel, but you will be refueling often as that system is really massive. Let's go ahead and hop into the pilot seat really quick. I'll take a look at the dashboard. We'll go do a bounty or two, maybe a player bounty. I finally got them working, and we'll see how this thing performs. Now, before we do that, I do want to take a quick look at the exterior. I almost just jumped way ahead. You do have a full components and gold standard pass. So a nice thing about that right now, taking a look here, you do have a weapons access locker here. You got some radar and avionic components down below. And then back here, you do have storage access. So if you're to press this, you can access your storage and store some things in there, obviously, because it's called storage. So yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. Also some more component access throughout the other side of the ship, and I believe some on the top as well. So now let's go ahead and jump into that quick battle. All right, we're on the way to the AI bounty. I grabbed the player bounty, but it's not showing me any markers. Hurrah! Gotta love that. Now, as you can see, this does have quite the dash here. You have 4 MFDs in front of you, and then you also have a really good view out this ship. So if you're running any sort of Tobii eye tracker or anything, or any head tracker really, this is pretty nice. You're gonna be able to fly this thing and maneuver around pretty well inside the cockpit. So let's go ahead and get into this fight really quick, see how it performs. Now, as you can see, this ship had no problem taking care of those AI targets, and honestly, against player targets, you're not going to have much of an issue either, as long as you're facing something that this ship is meant to attack. Now, obviously, it's the skill of the pilot that's going to have the final say in pretty much any battle. You could be the best pilot in the world flying, a starter ship and still do amazing work compared to somebody that's not so good at flying or just new to the game and still be outperformed. So with that, I mean, this ship is a great ship to be in if you're looking to learn how to fight or if you just want to have a fun time doing it. It's definitely there. You do have to take account for that smaller health pool. It is spread across a lot of these little wing parts and everything. So with that in mind, you might get taken out of the sky somewhat quick, so keep an eye on that. Try not to get hit too much. Use that maneuverability and speed to your advantage. Now, outside of that, last time I gave firepower kind of a negative hit, but that's just because I compared it to something like the Avenger Titan, which honestly, there's no comparison there. This ship would completely dump on an Avenger Titan. So with that in mind, this ship, for me, honestly, my score is an 8.5 out of 10, and the biggest hit for me is the EM rating for such a light and small fighter. This thing sits at around 20,000, so you're being spotted from quite the distance, even though you're a pretty small profile. And then you also a little bit of a point taken away just because, or half a point, because of the health pool being spread around this ship so much. It is very fragile, and you really just do not want to get hit. But it is a great ship. Let me know, what do you think of the Gladius currently in 4.0? In today's version of Star Citizen, do you still prefer this over something like a Hornet? Or what ship are you flying out there to go ahead and fight other targets? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you everybody for being here. You guys are truly the best, and I cannot wait for all these other videos I want to make. I want to go over all the starter ships again, you know, see if anything's changed with those, and then I'm going to start hitting a bunch of ships that I haven't hit before, like the Drake Herald and many other ships. So stick around and keep an eye out for more giveaways, because they're always around. So thank you guys again. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.